Because they like basketball class for 4 times. Last sem tu 4 times they repeat. I don't know this time if it repeats lagi ke tak. Actually you can stay. Oh sure, I want to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just you need to be on there.
That's right.
Oh, really?
She came! Okay. Alright, are you guys all ready?
Yeah, cool.
So before we got started, this resume reviews and cover letter workshop, it's going to be super casual. It's about, you guys can have any, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt us. And my name is Nadzreen, if you guys know me. And Marcus, I would like to introduce you. This is half of my family here in Iowa.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, Marcus is my coworker at the Career Center. So before we get started, I would like to show you guys a video.
Each year, thousands of students, just like you, from all over the world, arrive at the University of Iowa. You come filled with exciting expectations. After graduation, these dreams all come with many things that are unknown. In fact, it's the very uncertainty of those dreams that...
Okay, let's just start one more time. Sorry.
Each year, thousands of students, just like you, from all over the world, arrive at the University of Iowa. You come filled with excitement, expectations, and dreams of what life will be like during college and after graduation. These dreams all come with many things that are unknown. In fact, it's the very uncertainty of those dreams that can create questions like, how do I choose a major? What can I do with my major? How do I find an internship? What should go on my resume? Will I be able to find a job when I graduate? Should I go to graduate school? These big questions can often cause you to overlook the more important question that we believe all students should be asking themselves. Where is it that I want to go, and how do I get there from here? The answer to this question points to the very reason why the Career Center exists. Our goal is really very simple. We want to develop an ongoing relationship with you throughout your college career, where we can use our experience and expertise to help you create a plan that leads toward your future. We want to help you explore and prepare for a future that fits who you are and what you're about. Let us work with you to help manage the pressure you may feel when thinking about your future and career. Most students who visit us report feeling confused or overwhelmed prior to their visit, but after a short advising appointment, they leave the Career Center feeling confident and informed. You can feel this way too.
Career Center seemed like the first place to start, and I met with somebody and she was so incredibly helpful. She helped me narrow down ideas and online resources that I could find, and I felt like she's going to be there to help me along my way whenever I need her.
When you come to the Career Center, we will help you learn how to explore your interests so that you can find the right fit in your choice for a major. Find ways to gain experience through volunteering, part-time jobs, internships, and campus involvement. Research graduate school and how to apply if that's something you're considering. And connect you with employers through career fairs, mock interviews, and campus interviews. Don't wait. Schedule an appointment with a career advisor today so that we can start a conversation to help you know where to begin, develop the skills to reach your goals, and build the confidence to make it happen. Let the Pomerantz Career Center help you take the next step.
Yeah, so that's like basically everything we do, but this presentation will just be specifically on resumes and cover letters, which are kind of the most important part because it's like your first impression to an employer.
Okay, I have a question here. How many resumes you should have?
No idea. Three.
Yeah, close enough. The answer, or there's no really right answer, but we recommend having a tailored resume for each different position, and then having one sort of like master resume that has everything you've ever done with your life, and that can be like 2 or 3 pages long, but then when it comes time to apply for a specific position, you can take from that master resume the most relevant stuff, but that way you don't have to keep like deleting it and adding it back. Because you want to like, depending on what job you're applying for, you want to like highlight different experiences. So that's a really important thing that you want to tailor it to whatever they're asking you to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so when it comes to your resume, there are 3 C's that we use at the Career Center. It should be clear, it should be concise, which means that for undergraduate resume, we highly recommend you to have 1 page, and it should be consistent with the overall formatting that you guys set up. So, Marcus is going to touch on the general resume tips.
Yeah, so these like apply to like all different resumes, no matter like what your major or career path is. So you can use margins down to like 0.5 inches, because standard, like when you're writing a paper, they're 1 inch, and that kind of like leaves a lot of white space on the edges. So if you go to 0.5, you can really expand and put more on the page. You can fit more onto that 1 page you have. And you can use between 10 and 12 size font. So if you like don't have that many experiences, but you want to fill up the page, use 12. But if you have a lot that you want to cram in, I would recommend using 10. And stick to black and gray font. Like, don't use big, bright colors. You're not going to stick, like, you'll stick out by having colors, but it'll be like sticking out in a bad way. So just keep it like nice, clean, professional, and just use black. I mean, you can use gray too, but I think that'd be a little light to read for my taste. And 1 page in length, like we said. And the exception for that is nursing or education majors, because you guys have a lot of like practicums and hours and stuff, so that can be longer. Is anyone a nursing or education major? No, cool. Okay, so everyone's resume here will be 1 page. Perfect. And templates, those are like those things you get like on Microsoft that just are have those big blocks of text, and we recommend like try not to use those, because those can be really difficult to edit. Like, we've tried to edit a lot of students who come in with like templates, and they're literally impossible. So like, just save yourself the stress and just like start from scratch and create your own document, and then that way you can really be in charge of what the formatting looks like. Even though it might take a little longer to do, it's easier to go back and edit it. So that's our word on templates. Like, you can use them, but like we don't really like them. So, and oh yes, make sure you save your resume as a PDF. This is really important, because if you save it like as a Word doc, if it opens on like a Mac or PC, it might be like different. Like the formatting might be a little wonky. So, but if you save it as a PDF, it's like taking a picture, so it'll show up the same on each computer. So that's a really important thing to do. And save it as just like first name, last name, resume. Don't say anything like, oh my god, my first resume, exclamation point. Because like the employer's gonna read that and be like, okay. So like, just be basic and simple. And no spelling or grammar errors. That's just like a given. But that's why we're here, because we review the resumes.
So going along with what Marcus has touched on, since I know you guys, so like the resumes format back home is totally different from what we have here in the US. You don't have to have a picture, so if you have a picture, it's going to be rejected. Because here in the US, it's the law that you do not like discriminate people, so that's why the reason why they don't want you to put a picture on. And also 1 page, because people here use like 5 seconds to just screen out your applications. That's just like a tips. So the only template that you guys can use that we started using last semester is the template that we provide through our website. I'm going to show you later on towards the end. There are 8 templates available online, and you guys can download it and just like delete all their information and replace on your information. That's way it's easier to help you with the formatting. So first of all, I'm going to start with the header. The header section is all about like your information, so it's going to be your name, it's going to be your address, it's going to be a phone number and email address, so it's pretty easy. Do you have any questions for the header section? Okay.
Yeah, I would just say like make sure your name is really big and bold, because that's kind of like the most important part. Don't have it like the same font as everything else, because it will just blend in.
Yeah, you want your name to stand out.
And also, oh, one more thing. If you're like a graduating senior, I would recommend not putting your Iowa email, because you won't have access to that for too long after you graduate. So just put like your other email account.
But you don't want it to be like sunflower sunshine.
Yeah,
and
professional
Gmail.com.
email account.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after the header, the education will be the first section of your resume, and that's just because like we're all in school, so it's like really the focal point of all of our experiences. Like most of our work, volunteer, or campus stuff comes from the school, so you want that to be first so they can see it. And how to format the education is pretty like standard, I think. You can see the example over here. You want to list like the school first. List like make sure you put the in front of University of Iowa. It's like it's a thing. Some people forget it, but like it's the University of Iowa. And city, state, and then on the right-hand side, you'll want to put your date of graduation. So you don't have to put like the time you started. Like you don't have to put August 2015 and May 2019. You can just put like anticipated May 2019. And then under that, you want to list your degree and make sure you know what your degree is. If it's like a Bachelor of Arts, like a BA or a BS or a BBA, you can like check your degree audit and see what your degree is actually called. And then make sure you include any minors and certificates as well. And for GPA, we recommend including it if it's above a 3.0. If not, you don't have to include it. It's not required. But you want to like essentially sell yourself like on your resume. So if your GPA is good and it's a selling point, then put it. And if it's not, then don't put it.
For engineering resume, it's fine to have 2.75 on your GPA because it's
a little harder.
Yeah, it's hard. I know I know some of you came from a transfer college, so you might want to include like your college down here. So it could be like any college that you are from, and then when did you graduate? If you graduate from the college, but if you're not, just put the start date and the end date, and then a couple of classes. Because some of you are freshmen or sophomore, and you still have like lots of space on your resume, so you may include the college that you attended back home. So other than like education section, after that you're able to like put any of the header section for resume categories. You can have honors and awards, you can have course highlights. For example, now you're in operations management and you're doing simulation spreadsheets, so those can be on your resume as well. So if you did volunteer experience, any leadership experience like you have here in the MSSUI, you can put them as well. Language skills, if you're comfortable and you feel that you're able to converse in the second language or third language during interview, you want to put them on your resume. And some computer skills like, I would say, Java,
JavaScript,
C++,
yeah.
not like Google, not like Facebook, and so on.
Oh yeah, don't put social media. That's kind of what you get.
Unless you're a marketing major, that probably be
But even
different
that, it's like,
set of skills.
it's not that hard, but I don't know.
Right, I give it
That's
to
kind
you.
of an opinion thing. You do what you want with that.
Yeah.
So, and also, oh wait, were you going to say something?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like, there's like all these titles, but depending on what you want to highlight, depends on which one you want to put first. Because like employers, when they're reading it from top down, like half the time they don't get to the bottom. So you want to make sure everything that you really want them to see, you put up top. Like if you're applying for like a nonprofit, you might want to put volunteer experience first. But if you're applying for a job where your internship was relevant, put that first. Because there's no really order of where it has to go.
High school activities, I would say if you are a freshman, then we'll try to give you a pass. But I would not recommend you to have it on your resume because it's a long time ago. And also for some of the specific majors might have specific categories. For example, like actuarial science, I know you guys have a couple of exams that you have to take. So you can have that on your resume, like actuarial science exam, and then just put the name of the exam and then the date when you passed the exam. Or if you are finance major, then you have one exclusion where you can include your interests, like skiing.
Like your hobbies.
Like your hobbies.
Reading. I was like,
I don't know why, but that's just for finance.
man, this is not, this is not like an exhaustive list either. Like if there's something on here, like that's not listed, you can definitely still put it. Even though one thing that we purposely left off of here is just like a general skills section. Like sometimes folks will list like, they'll say skills and they'll put like organized, hardworking, like timely. And we recommend like not just putting those words because those are just like, you're just saying words. You're not really saying how you've demonstrated those skills. So instead of like just having a section with a whole bunch of random adjectives, just like try to work how you demonstrated those skills into your bullet points when describing all of these experiences.
Okay, so this is an example of how you're going to craft your bullet point for a work experience section. You want to go ahead?
Oh my god, this is our job, side note. So, and yeah, you want to put the title first of like what your title was at the job, whether it's volunteer or member or intern, whatever that is. And then on the right side, you want to have the date, and you want to have like the range of dates you were involved. If you're still involved, just put like to present. If not, put like the end, month, and date. And then below the title, you just have what the place was called, and then the city and state where it was in. And after that, you just want to have like 2 to 5 bullet points that kind of describe what exactly you did in this position. And you really want to try and be as transferable as possible when talking about these. Like, don't be too job specific, but like talk about skills that you gained that you can use in any other job. So like, here this example says, assisted students with resume, assisted students with resume and cover letter improvements in professional development. So that like, with this bullet, it says like what you did and like what skills you use, like you use your professional development skills. So it shows the employer you have that experience. And yeah, because you want to start with a past tense verb, usually, or not usually, all the time. And like a strong power verb that describes like what you did, and then just kind of go off of like what skills you used to accomplish the task. So yeah, sometimes bullet points are really hard to write, but it's kind of like this is the meat of your resume, as some people call it. So it's like the most important part. So if you have to spend like 5 minutes just to write one line, like that's just the way it is. So but then it'll be a nice resume, so it'll be cool.
And never undersell like your skills. The employers know that you are college students. They don't expect you to have 10 years of work experience.
Yeah.
It's just how you're gonna write them and try to incorporate them in like telling your transferable skills. So if you work at as a student writing associate, I used to work there. So I probably could talk about my time management skills, how I work with people, how many people I work with, what are the transferable skills that I gained from that, what are the results, how many hours do I work. So if I work 20 hours per week or even 10 hours per week, then I should emphasize that I was able to like manage my time well with 18 hours of class and 10 hours of work. So that's the most important thing that they want to look at, not like saying you have 10 years of work experience in an executive position. That's just...
Yeah, all of your experiences are valid. Like, don't think, oh my god, this is just like a server job, I don't want to put it. Like, no, you learn stuff there. You like learn how to like deal with people, which is a really important skill. Sometimes I don't have, oh, can you go back to the slide real quick? I was going to say something. Oh, I forgot what it was. So. Oh yeah, okay, wait. And also, in your bullet points, if you can include like numbers anywhere, that would be great. I don't think there are any on here, but like if we said like how many resumes we did, like assisted students with over like 100, like that one number is gonna really pop out in like this whole block of words. So anytime you can use a number to quantify, definitely do that, because their eyes will go right to it.
Or it could be like assisted 200,000 undergraduates.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna be like huge numbers. Just joking. So Marcus kind of like point out everything, like building effective bullet points. Start like every bullet point with power verb, and do not put periods at the end of your bullet points, because that's a bullet points, that's not a sentence. And then write it in past tense, be more specific. From now on, you want to keep track of every activity that you do, how many percent it you help to improve the results or something. And if you list a skill, you want to be sure to be able to show how you have that skill, because in your interview, it's going to come up, it's going to pop up with questions. So tell me about an activity that you do based on your resume. So that's most important thing, you want to be honest, because you want to be able to tell them. And recruiters knows when you're trying to bluff. So do you have a question so far?
Because now we're about to transition into talking about cover letters, which I think are a little more fun than resumes. So yeah, cover letters are basically when the job asks for a resume and cover letter. Like your resume is just like all of your experiences like plotted onto a piece of paper, which is cool. But cover letters, you really get to like bring those experiences to light and really talk about what skills you've gained and how the skills you've gained can make you an asset to the company you're applying for. So just some like basics for that. You want to use the same like header that you use in your resume. like the one we showed in the very first slide with your name and etc. Make sure you use like the same one. And yeah, also use business letter formatting to address the company. So like, that just basically means like put the company's address at the top. Like put like their name, their address, zip code, and something else. We have career guides that explain it because I don't know how to do it.
It
But
would
yeah,
be wonderful if you could actually try to find the information about the recruiter or whoever person that you're addressing this cover letter to, because it shows that you're making an effort and that you're really interested in their company. And most of this information, like who are you addressing it to, it's going to be available on their website. It's a public information. So we're going to go straight into cover letter formatting. Before I go into deep more for the cover letter formatting, how many of you have written a cover letter before? I just want to know, like, so that I get a grasp on it. Okay. So basically, this is what we use for paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Paragraph 1 is like, hey, this is what I like about you, this is myself, and how you're going to align your personal values and mission statement with the company mission statement in showing that your guys are a good fit. And second paragraph is like, what should you like about me, or you want to talk more about, these are the skills that I could offer you. And the third paragraph I would call is like, hey, hire me. So paragraph 1 is more about formal introduction. Tell them about the position that you're applying for. And then tell them how you know about the position. For example, if Marcus recommended me for that position, I would want to put his name on it.
Name drop.
Yeah, name drop. That's a good lingo. And then I would want to say my personal mission, and also I want to do some research about the company's mission and also culture and value. And the second paragraph is like looking at the job descriptions. You want to try to match the skills that you had, your experiences, with the descriptions that they have listed on their job application. And the third paragraph is very formal, just short, positive, polite, and professional, saying that thank them for their time, the consideration of reading your cover letter, and then some of them like might provide like phone number, it's your call.
Yeah.
Some of them might not, and you could just like sign off by saying like your name. So these are the common cover letter mistakes that people always make.
Oh yeah, so some of it's just like putting your resume in paragraph form, and what that basically means is like, just be like, I was a server, and then you literally just like save the same thing that your bullet points say, and like, there's not really a point in that because it's just like the same thing as your resume, except you're writing in sentences instead of bullets. So make sure you try to like spice it up, talk about something different, talk about a different aspect that wasn't highlighted in your resume. And don't start every sentence with I. Like, don't just be like, I did this, I did that, because that's just like not gonna help the flow of the cover letter. And yeah, like listing skills, like I said earlier, but not showing how you've used them. I think it's really important to like make connections between the skills you have and what the job's looking for. So that's like where the job description, like Nadzreen said, will come into play. And then, oh yeah, using the same cover letter for every position is like not ideal, because like every position's looking for something different, so you want to highlight something different. Like for resumes, sometimes you can get away with like using the same resume for a position if it's like a similar field. But for a cover letter, like the organization's like gonna have different values and different experiences that they're looking for. So definitely make sure these are different. And oh yeah, not using the job description to help you.
Yeah, you want to make sure like you can circle or even highlight them and make sure that you touch all the points that they have. For example, they might have like 5 descriptions for the job. You might need to be like organized, have a good communication skills, customer service skills, and then suddenly you just don't check on it and you forgot to touch on that you actually have a customer service skills through being like you working like as an on-Iowa leader, and then you learn about like customer service skills, something like that. And you can also like actually describe 2 or 3 experiences and then utilize like your skills more in like each experience. It does not have to be like different experience for every single different skills.
Yeah, it's just what you want to choose to highlight. So yeah, that's the end of our presentation. So oh wait, that's fine. Oh yeah. So like if you want to come see us, which you totally should, we're there Monday through Friday on the 3rd floor from 10 to 3. well, the peer advisors are there for 10 to 3 if you want to do a walk-in. But if you want to like meet with an actual professional advisor, which I'd recommend as well, they're there from 8:30 to 5:30, and you make those appointments on HireHawk and like follow us on Facebook and stuff.
And then I'm gonna show you guys like real quick the
Okay.
template that we have. You guys are lucky because during my years, like I've got my resume rejected 3 times. Because I wrote it like 4 pages and they don't even have a template online.
This is our lifestyle.
They started this last semester. So you can check it out. We have 8 different types of resume for like class, experience, for athletic, for lab experience, study abroad, and so on and so forth. You could download the Word. This is just an example. It's pretty easy.
It's pretty convenient too.
Yeah. So you just like delete your information, put on your information. It's gonna save you a lot of time since you're gonna spend a longer time, like Marcus said before, when writing like all the bullet points.
Yeah,
It's
just
gonna
like-
take you more than 1 day to get everything done.
Mhm.
And also, you can flip through this page. For power verbs, we have variation of power verbs. You don't want to repeat like assisted 5 times. People are gonna get bored.
Spice it up.
Yep.
So many words out there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Where is it?
This is on our website, so it's like careers.uiowa.edu. And then, yeah, if you go to students, resume.
Okay, let me show you
Oh, yeah.
slowly. Yeah. Sorry.
And then,
So you go to careers.uiowa.edu. So you want to go to students tab, and then you want to go search this side. It's
Or you
just
can
like
go right here.
resume. Or you can go right here. Actually, it's here. Get caught up. So these are all
where's the power word?
the templates and the power grips. All right, show you later. And also we have a CV if you're applying for grad school. So this is writing bullet points, how you're gonna write your bullet points. And then for power grips, like I would do, just like type them there. Resume. And then also like writing power grips. So we have hundreds of power grips.
It's also in our principal career guide. So if you go like to the students tab.
Student staff.
Yeah. Or actually, no, like, oh yeah, if you go to this, you go down. No, like up. Like, okay, stop, here. Principal career guide. This is like what we hand out at each appointment. And it has like literally everything you could ever ask for in life. So definitely look through that. And that has like the same list and basically everything you need.
And if you want like the real book, it's for you. You pay for these services, so feel free to come to our office and take
You
one.
get a hard copy.
Yeah.
So your tuition's going for it, so get one.
And also, what else do we have here? Yeah, if you need to list your references, these are the things that you want to follow. And we also have a sample page for how to write your references. You don't want even to include like references available upon request on your resume because it's redundant. And I think that's all.
Does anyone have any pressing questions?
Yeah.
I have questions about the resume.
Mhm.
My question is, can we use this resume with the US format to the Malaysian format? I mean, like bring our resume to Malaysia. and
Yeah.
with the Malaysian
Okay,
format.
so for last semester, last summer break actually, me and Dean, we went to NAMSA. So I actually asked Talent Corp CEO, and then she told me it doesn't matter. And I would say if you guys are like good talent, and I would say most recruiters, even though the HR people in Malaysia is a little bit different from here, they're not gonna like look through your application for like 2 hours. We're just gonna look at like 1 page. So I would say it's fine to use this format. But if you would want to include your pictures, it's also fine. But now you're finding a job on like JobStreet or something like that, so your profile is available there. I would say it's safe to use that with multinational companies. I don't have an exact answer. It depends on the companies. It depends on the field that you're applying for. But I would say this is a good format. Because considering that me and Marcus, last week we spent over 4 hours in reviewing applications.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reading cover
I
letters
know,
and
you read them
resumes.
so quickly. You literally
And
just
our
like look
eyes
at
were
it.
like strained
And if there's like any like little formatting thing, you just like, wrong.
Yeah, and it's all like going to a pile, shred it away.
Okay, and if we use the template, and because I use the template and I make a resume based on the template, and I pass like my resume to my friends, like they want to do it as an example, and then like everyone has the same kind of resume. Is it okay, or do we have to like make it different from the other? Just
You don't want to be different in a bad way. So
I mean,
you have
like-
to be, I
I
understand.
mean like the presentation of the resume, like can
Do you mean like the whole formatting
I think,
thing?
Yeah,
I think what
formatting.
you want to say is it okay like if everyone
Has
has
the
the
same
same template,
format, like-
is it gonna affect the
I mean,
application?
are you all applying for the same job? Wait, no, that was like a real question.
we never know about it.
And
I
then
mean,
your
yeah.
experience
There's
is different
possibility.
from each other. So he might have an experience becoming a VP here, and then you might have an experience becoming a webmaster here. So it's totally different. Your experience would be transferable in design. Your experience would be transferable in paying attention to detail, and his experience is going to be transferable in managing people, organizing a group of students. So I would say your bullet points. That's why you're paying attention to like your bullet points. It's the thing that's going to like make it or break it.
So
Yeah.
Most of the time.
so the formatting is you can just use the same format but different content.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah, because really they only care about formatting if it's wrong. If it's right, they're not really gonna look at it that much. But like if it's wrong, that's like a deal breaker.
Yeah.
So if everyone has the same one and it's right, like that's not gonna be a red flag in their mind.
Yeah. You're
If
gonna
that
be
makes
on that pile, but if your resume stand out in a different way, you're gonna be on the no pile. Does it make sense?
yeah.
Like you're answering
Yeah.
your questions?
Thank
Oh, yeah, I
you.
was like, I hope I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
Just like talking. So.
So we have a remaining of like around 20 minutes. So I think we would wanna look through your resume. How many of you have a draft over here so that we can both like look
Come on
through?
down.
Yeah. We're just going like first come,
That's
first,
great.
I have questions.
first the basis. Yeah.
About the reference.
Uh-huh.
Do we have to put the reference into our resume, or we like make a different?
No, you don't have to provide references unless they ask for them. So like on your one-page resume, you don't have to include anything about references.
Not even like references available upon request, because the recruiter would know if they would need references, they would let you know, and they'll tell you in the interview, like, so we will need 3 to 5 references. So these are like an example of how you're gonna provide your references. It could be your professor, it could be someone who used to work with you, like your supervisor or your manager, and also like your academic advisor, I believe.
Yeah, anyone who can speak highly of you that's like not a family member or friend. So, whatever you think. Ooh, question.
Yeah, so back to the cover letter. So what would you say about the average length of the cover letter? I mean, does it have like maximum length of the cover letter?
Yeah, you want that to be 1 page as well. And yeah, and it can be like single space, so it's usually like 3 or 4 paragraphs, as you can see here. And you can fit quite a bit in there, so.
So it doesn't matter about the white spaces there?
Wait, like this?
The margin?
No, I mean, it's like, do we have to like fully full,
Oh yeah, you need this part. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, no, like on the right top spaces right there.
Like, do you mean this spacing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine because you need to format it like this, the address of the company. So
But in
that's just
general, the cover letter must be like in a whole page. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it usually fills out. If it's like 3/4 of the page, that's fine. You don't want it to be like half the page, because that's no good.
This is your chance to sell yourself, but you don't want to be like overselling yourself, because you got to remember, they might have 5 minutes to write this and 5 seconds to look at your resume. That's the most people will do, usually. So I would say as long as it's like 1 page, 2 to 3 paragraphs describing the body of the letter, short opening paragraph, and a really short closing paragraph, you should be fine.
Yeah, my personal preference is I like to have 2 bodies and then a shorter closing one, but that's just me.
Yeah, this
So.
is.
And then I have more questions, but so if we like applying a lot of jobs and it requires the cover letter, is it possible that I do like general cover letter and then I just change the like what position that I applied in and then like just delete that part and then change it with another part?
I would say don't forget to change it because I've seen a lot where they're applying for the wrong company, and that's just like a good way to get it thrown in the garbage. And I mean, you can, like, if you're applying for similar stuff, like if you're applying for something in the same industry, maybe, but I would really try to just change like maybe 1 or 2 sentences to really highlight something that that specific company is looking for. But I get it, when you're like applying for like 7 or 8 jobs, that's like kind of annoying, but I think it would be worth it.
I would say like your resume, you could actually send that same resume to any companies. But for your cover letter, the reason why they wanted you to write a cover letter, first one, they want to look at your writing skills, and they want to look at like how you describe yourself and how you tailor-made the skills to the descriptions that they had on your job description. So I would recommend you to tailor-make every single cover letter for every single job.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like your call.
Yeah,
it's your cover
call.
letter.
It's
We're not gonna like find you and be like, oh my god, this is the same one. So that'd be mean. So like yeah. Oh, question.
We have a question from Farid.
Oh my
He
god,
asked,
a question from the audience.
nowadays, there are a lot of websites that offer online classes or training courses. And these websites also offer certificate upon successful completion of the course. So should we include those certificates in our resume?
Oh yeah, that's a good question actually. Tell him it's a good question. So a certificate is something that you want to actually put on your resume. Because we forgot to say, that's the part where we say like you can have any of the sections. So if, for example, you have a Google Analytics certificate, that's what people keep doing online. And if you're certified, they'll send you like a certification saying that you're certified in Google Analytics. So you can do that. So you can have like certifications and the name of certification and also the date that you received the certification. You don't need 2 to 5 bullet points to describe the certification. It's like the actual science exams. So you just put like exam P. And then when you pass the exam, like past January 2016.
So it doesn't matter if it's online courses?
Yeah.
You can just...
If it's like makes sense and also like could be used.
Are you getting like certified in those online classes, or are you just taking it? I mean, I don't really know what class you're talking about.
For example, I don't know about Farid, but for statistician, we have like a SAS program, for example, or even like R classes, tutorial on like on the internet, and we can like go through all the classes and get like a certificate when we completed the tutorial or something.
Definitely put that on,
good.
I would say. And also like for a material science major or any majors that specific, I would say include your computer and software skills to the top of your resume. If you're a science major and you know like lab techniques, then you definitely want to put that on top of your resume. Because if I'm applying for that job and I don't have that skills, I'm going to be out and you're going to be like on top of it.
Yeah, make sure like in the job description, everything that they say is a required skill, that you put that either in the resume or cover letter, wherever it's appropriate. Oh yeah, question.
I got a question about their resume. Is it necessary to put their main highlighted course in our resume? Because it seems like take a lot of place in the resume. Yep.
I agree with Carmen. I would say like for highlighted course, if you're freshman and sophomore, I would say it's okay to put them on. But the strongest thing that you can offer in your resume is talk more about your class project experience. So for example, if you are taking marketing and then you are in like capstone project for your marketing classes, like a higher level marketing 3400, 4200, you might want to have 2 to 5 bullet points describing how you use some of like social media to I would say integrate all the projects and stuff like that. It'll be much stronger than just saying I'm taking that class, because like your major already indicates like you have the classes. So for example, I'm just saying like I'm organized, how organized I am. So I want to explain like how organized I am.
I'm gonna go to the one side. You can keep talking. I was gonna
Okay,
show
I'm
you
done
the one.
talking. You want to talk?
Oh wait, yeah. I was just gonna show you the one resume that kind of like highlights the classes.
But the one is like a lower level resume.
I know, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like it gets the job done. So okay. Yeah. Is it like showing
No.
it? This one. Yeah, so you see here like how they like list just one class they talked about, and then they just like put 3 bullets for that. That's something you could do. Wait, are you going down?
I'm going down.
Okay. But then also there's different ways like
So if you want to put a class project experience,
it's
this is not fun.
the other way.
So you can see like the related projects. So you want to have like the department that offer the classes and the university, and also the semester that you take the class.
You can rotate there.
Can you rotate it?
Yeah.
You're not good at technology.
I don't know. Oh, what a life. Yeah, but you see here, like, there's a related project, so that's like, has the class name and the department and shows what you did. I think that's a pretty good tool to kind of like just describe one class more in depth. And you can also like, oh my god, where's the highlight?
I think we removed this from the new one.
Yeah, there's also another one that has like, oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they just like list 4 courses, so that's something you can do as well. If you just want to give them a more like comprehensive view of what classes you're taking, you can do that. Or if you want to just go more in depth on the one class, like the previous one.
So do you mean that you suggest us to take to put the major course in just like one class or 2 major classes like that?
Yeah, I think the talking about one class is better, in my opinion. But like, I think definitely this is a good option as well. So it's kind of like whatever you feel.
Yeah, again, it's your call, but I'd say this one's first and second year. And you probably want to be like more in depth, like since, for example, here economics, you tell them that you analyze financial reports, you presented investment strategy. That's much stronger than I'm just saying that I'm taking money banking and financial markets. But again, it's your call. If you're running out of space and you're a senior and you need to like list down all of like other awesome internship experience, then highlighting would be fine.
Yeah, any other questions? These are good questions. Cool. Well, thanks so much for having us come in. This was a blast. And yeah, we can review like resumes, I think. Is that what we're doing? Yeah.
If you
can do
guys
it. I'll be
have your
here.
resume with you, we could actually like look through it real quick.
Yeah, you can like X out of everything. Oh, you don't have to sign me. I can just X out.